So there is a weapon called the Scourge. The Scourge, of course, being a spear gun that came with Harrow, I believe. Now, this weapon I think is really powerful, and because we're able to rename it, I have now called it the Staff of ARMADYL. Now, you may be wondering, what the hell is the Staff of ARMADYL? The Staff of ARMADYL is actually a battle staff named after the god ARMADYL in RuneScape. That's right, I've actually named this weapon after a RuneScape weapon. The Staff of ARMADYL in RuneScape is probably one of my favorite weapons to use in terms of magic, because it is a magic battle staff that gives free air runes, which actually makes it really, really useful. Just, if you don't know anything, just know that having free air runes is super duper awesome. So let's go back to the simulacrum with the Scourge and of course my Limbo in the Dark Magician form. So if we go up against these level 145 Exogoxat officers, like so, you can see that we can actually get 10 corrosive and 10 viral procs, so that's obviously going to make things a lot easier to just chunk away the health of these Goxstat officers, who, mind you, are rather tanky. Now if we actually activate Rift Torrent, you can see that there's also a huge difference because we're using attack mode Dark Magician. So keep in mind that what we're seeing now is the result of attack mode Dark Magician as well, but we are also seeing this as a result of having just a lot of those status procs applied to these enemies because of the Scourge. Now if we just reset this and just go up against an enemy that is coated with a lot of viral procs, we're already doing a lot of damage with the Photo Prime, but we can also increase the damage by having both 10 corrosive and 10 viral procs. And we did 148,000 damage on an orange crit, so that is a lot of extra damage. 75,000 damage on a headshot. On a yellow crit, we are obviously doing a lot more damage, like so. As opposed to just normally, we're only doing 4,000 damage. Huge difference. So this weapon is not only just good by itself, especially if you're using attack mode Dark Magician, because attack mode Dark Magician is pretty damn strong, but also if you actually use the status procs together, we're not even doing headshots just then, and we're already doing quite a significant amount of damage. That is really, really strong. So let's have a look at the build that we are using with the Scourge. So here we are with the Staff of ARMADYL build. So the fact that we are using 1, 2, 3, 4, 60, 60 mods, that's pretty much the reason why this weapon does a lot of extra damage, because of those corrosive and viral procs. That is really, really good. Now, the fact that I'm using a Riven that has extra damage, extra multi-shot, that does help, but that's not the real reason why we're using this. In fact, if we do this and we get rid of it, I can demonstrate again how strong this is. If we replace it with something like Prime Fast has, for example. Otherwise, we're using Amalgam Restoration because of course, we're using Split Saber because of course. I personally prefer Vile Acceleration. That is entirely up to you. So let's just quickly try and use this again against those level 145 Goxstat officers without my Riven. So, this is without the Riven, folks. See if I can find a head. So without the Riven, we're still chunking through that enemy health because of those viral and because of those corrosive procs. So at this point, you might not want to actually use it as its own. You might want to use it more for that support-based weaponry, because that is still really, really good. Now, alternatively, you can use this with someone like Mag. So if we actually go up against the same level 145 Goxstat officers, put them on a magnetized bubble as per usual. I believe the extra punch through from that Riven is actually going to be doing quite a lot of work. And then of course you can always drop the bubble as well, that will basically kill them as well. But this also brings us to another thing that the Staff of ARMADYL is really, really good for, and that is of course to support melee weapons. So again, same Goxstat officers, let's go up again. We've coated them all in these status procs like so. Et voila. That was really damn strong, because the Fragile Prime is actually using, or the God Hand Crusher is using, Condition Overload. So being able to have all of those status procs together with Condition Overload just makes it really, really strong in Steel Path Grineer missions. And that's pretty much it. This weapon chunks so much damage from those Grineer enemies. If you're doing a Hoover Survival for whatever reason in the Steel Path and you feel like using a weapon that can just prime all these enemies up to do tons of extra damage, I think the Scourge is probably your best choice. Otherwise, It's a solid weapon by itself, and I really enjoy using it. I've always enjoyed using this particular weapon from time to time, so that is entirely up to you. Keep in mind that the Scourge, and I believe all spear guns, have this cute little trait where when you run out of ammo, just swap to another weapon. You swap to another weapon, and it will actually recharge by itself. You don't actually need to do anything outside of that, and you can just basically keep going. There's no need for that reload animation. That's why I don't actually use Prime Frost Taz on my normal build, because I actually don't need to reload at all. It just reloads by itself, so that is really, really useful. But that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. Is the Scourge a weapon that you're going to use in the Steel Pass? Against Corvus enemies, I probably wouldn't use it, although you might want to try going for a magnetic Toxin build. Just see how you go. You might not end up with Toxin though, because Toxin plus Corrosive probably ends up being Corrosive. I'm not 100% sure about that, but either way, that's just something you're gonna have to think about. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more WarFrame content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.